Tyla's whole come up might not have been as innocent as we thought because, baby, the girl just got exposed and it's way deeper than folks calling her an industry plant. They had us believing she was just some random South African girl who popped off on TikTok talking about wanting to get her back blown out till she watered. Turns out she was actually being used as a pawn to push something way darker onto people's kids. Word on the street is her contract had some wild clause in it that forced her to shove explicit content in kids' faces. And get this, remember when Kanye was talking about those so-called demonic contracts that make artists do crazy things? Everybody thought he was being his usual crazy self, but now Jaguar Wright has stepped into the chat as well with some tea, and according to her, Tyla is caught up in that mess too. She even went as far as calling her an industry slave, and this entire mess started a few days ago when her EP, We Want to Party, debuted with just 3.7K sales in its first week. These numbers are horrible, especially for an artist who has a song with 1 billion streams on Spotify and a lot of industry support behind her. A lot of people, especially Black American folks, dragged her for filth and even said the reason why she's flopping is because she failed to connect with us Black folks in the US. One person said, so Tyla had an album debut of 3.7K, she may forever be in the flop asylum, and another person said Tyla is a flop. Black Americans are done with her. She just needs to take her ass back to South Africa with that colored mess. Now, in case you're wondering what they meant by her colored mess, well, about a year ago when Tyla first blew up, she got into it with a lot of people on the internet when she said she wasn't Black, she was colored. You see, in South Africa, which is where she's from, mixed people are not called Black people, they are called colored people. However, here in the United States, colored means something completely different because it was a term used on us during the segregation time, so she really threw off a lot of folks when she made that comment. She later appeared on The Breakfast Club and was asked to clarify her comment, but she refused. Mind you, The Breakfast Club was a good platform for her to set things straight since a lot of Black people tune in, but her snobby attitude and refusal to answer almost all the questions threw people off even more.
They didn't want us to ask about Kai Cenat. The whole "we friends though" thing, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
They didn't want us to ask about her not being on tour with Chris Brown anymore. They didn't want us to ask about the color thing.
Injury.
They didn't want us to ask about her injury that she sustained. What else was it? They didn't want to ask us about who she was dating, which I wouldn't do anyway. And what was the other one?
Comparison.
Oh yeah, and comparison. And it wasn't even Rihanna. It just said comparisons to other pop artists.
It wasn't until the backlash got so bad that she finally addressed it properly. But even then, she still stood on business when it came to being colored. She acknowledged that yes, she's a Black woman, but she's still a colored woman as well. Me choosing not to say anything, I'm happy that I didn't. I didn't want to explain my culture and something that is really important to me on a platform that is just going to be purposefully misconstrued. I've explained it a lot of times before, but people took that and put words in my mouth. They said a whole bunch of things that I never said and ran with it. If people really search, they'll see that in South Africa, we had a lot of segregation. It was bad for a lot of us. They just classified us. And that just so happens to be the name that the white people called us. They chose to call people that were mixed colored. And I'm not gonna lie, it was hard because all my life, obviously, I knew I'm Black, but also knew that I'm colored. So when I went to America and people were like, you can't say that, I was in a position where I was like, oh, so what do I do? What am I then? You know that even if you give the best explanation, people will still choose not to understand. I'm at a point where I know who I am. I know I'm a Black woman and I know I'm a colored woman as well, and you can be both, and the people that care to learn, they understand now, and that's enough for me. Now, while all this brouhaha was going on, Jaguar Wright stepped into the chat and she dragged the entire conversation into a whole different zone. She said Tyla was intentionally put into the industry with an aesthetic that appeals to little girls so she can pollute their young minds with dirty lyrics.
I don't talk about Tyla because I don't want to bring attention to it because I know what they're doing to her. But when you think about the lyrics of that song, Water, and you think about her core fan base, which are girls between the age of 7 and 17. Can you blow my mind and set off my whole body? Make me sweat, make me hotter, make me lose my breath, make me water. Why the f would that be coming out of 8-year-olds' mouth? And dancing and gyrating and trying to get a bump, bump, bump. Because that's all those kids that are watching her are doing. That's all they're doing. They're going to imitate everything that she does. Meanwhile, the local pedo who has a kid who are friends with a bunch of girls 9, 10, 11 years old, inviting the girls over for pizza and to watch Tyla videos.
Jaguar also said the reason they specifically picked Tyla for this agenda is because she has the body of a 14-year-old. And this will make it easy for her to pull kids into her fan base, as well as pedophile men who fantasize about being able to sleep with little girls. She flat out called Tyla an industry slave, claiming that they'll probably dispose her off once they're done with her, just like how they did to Aaliyah after they were done using her.
She doesn't look a day over 14 years old, and she's one of the most highly female figures on media today. You never see her fully dressed. She's always half naked. We always have to see her skin. We always have to see her body. And as talented as she is, can't be more demure. South Africa doesn't mean that every woman from South Africa is running around in loincloth, gyrating her genitalia and her every time you see her. It's like she can't even sing without popping up. I believe she's an industry slave, just like they tried to do to Aaliyah.
A lot of people were quick to believe Jaguar because everything she said checks out with what's being done to Tyla right now. Some people even said it's similar to what the industry did with Lil Nas X. They pumped millions into his career, showered him with Grammys in the midst of his controversies, and one day just decided that they were done with him. He hasn't had a hit since. Tyla was also brought into the industry with a TikTok song, got a Grammy with that same song, and now they are disposing her. There are even rumors that she might be getting deported back to South Africa. The only reason she's been able to stay in the US is because of her music, but since that's no longer yielding much, she really doesn't have any reason to still be here for much longer. As usual, people had their own thoughts, like this person who said, "I agree 1000%. The first time I saw Water and listened to the lyrics, I felt uneasy. Tyla looks a lot younger than they're saying she is." Hearing that she's been spotted with Clive Davis is also very disturbing because we now know he's one of the reasons Diddy is as up mentally as he is. IDK, who her team is, but her being spotted with Clive Davis is a worst case scenario. Another person said, "Elle really loved Tyla, and right now she is one of my favorite artists, but Jag is right. I refuse to sing the lyrics to this song. Can you snatch my soul? Number." That's a very dangerous mantra to recite, and the other lyrics aren't good either, like Jag said. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Tyla being exposed for being an industry plant? And do you really believe Jaguar's claims about her being used to destroy children? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.